What's going on, y'all? This is Avidan. Welcome to episode 75 of the Chillcast. I actually warned them this time. I wasn't trying to be a jerk this time. But thank you guys for coming through. Really do appreciate it. Tonight we have a lot to talk about. We have to talk about Sonic. We're going to talk about Pokemon. And then we're going to talk about YouTube making some funny changes. Some changes that are worth talking about. So with that, we're going to go ahead and introduce our guest, Mr. Chris Levi. Chris, how are you doing today, man? How you been, bro?
I've been doing really good today, enjoying the game. As far as the topics you said, the Pokemon one, as you've been seeing by my social media, I've been playing a lot of that. Pretty much spent all of last night once I got it downloaded, playing it, and then the majority of today. Didn't do any gym battles yet because I was that wild area. But I'll talk more about it when we talk about Pokemon. But I'm good, man. Doing good.
That's good. Always good to hear, man. Always have your positivity, man. Glad you're doing good, dude. Tell them, man, what's going on, bro? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Chillcast.
Nothing much, man. I'm good. Had a busy week at work. I'm ready to relax and play some more Pokemon. I'm playing a lot of it the last couple of days.
It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna be playing more of that later on tonight. Like, I'm gonna get some work done myself. I'm gonna definitely be playing more of that this weekend. I still didn't get to the first gym yet, but we'll talk about that. And Josh, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. It's been a busy week for me. Mainly playing Death Stranding. I remain completely absorbed by the game. It's probably my game of the year for 2019. But because I want to be like the cool kids, I did pick up Pokemon Sword today. Sadly, my Best Buy did not do a midnight launch last night. That, manager discretion, they decided not to do it. But I went for Pokemon Shield, not Sword. And I'm hoping it's going to be like a nice on-ramp to sort of get me, back into the fold of mainstream Pokemon games. I've been absent for a while, but, I see a lot of people having fun with it. I see there have been a little bit of, divisive review scores, kind of the same way we saw with Death Stranding, though maybe not quite as extreme.
Not much. Over 1,000. We're going to talk about that.
Right, yeah, I don't want to steal a thunder from the topic, but yeah, and then beyond that, I did pick up Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, streamed that a little bit ago, and I have to say, I think it's a really, really good-looking game, and I think EA really needed a hit because of how poorly they've sort of handled Star Wars so far. And I think, letting Respawn handle it was probably a good move because it looks like it's going to be a tremendous single-player experience.
Can we just give a round of applause for Respawn? Like, Respawn, literally saved EA. Like, heavily.
From a reputation standpoint, I would say...
Think about it. Like, almost every game that came out from Respawn so far has done really well, including Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, like I don't, and the way I kept explaining it is like, first of all, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan ever. That's not true, but I did have a lot of great memories with like The Force Unleashed, and I'm a little bit of a Star Wars fan, not a huge one, but the way I explained it, I don't have faith in EA necessarily, but I do have faith in Respawn. So that's why I was like, this is probably going to be better than you would imagine, despite the fact that it is still published by EA.
Okay, cool. Glad to hear, man. Glad you're doing well too, Josh.
Yes, very well.
And then we got Chips and Sticks back on the podcast. No, hold on.
See, don't disrespect me like that.
No, I wasn't. Calm down. I was gonna say, if you had your glasses, I was gonna call you this guy. So you're replacing Squirtle now? You're replacing Squirtle with Sabo.
Sabo Squad.
You're replacing Squirtle with Sabo now?
I'll just keep this right here.
But nah, like, I was gonna say, he's missing the glasses. We can't just call him Chips and Sticks. We have to call him Chip Santana. See, I was gonna do that for you, and you gonna sit here and come at me because I'm trying to look out for you, dog.
Cause you trying to say I got Grookey.
No, I was not. I know you Sabo gay.
Okay.
That's a Nintendo move, not me.
All right, then you know what? I apologize for my actions. And to answer your question, no, Squirtle Squad has not been replaced. It's just a branch of the Squirtle Squad.
Got it.
Called the Sabo Squad. Got it.
Glad to hear it, man. Obviously, you've been playing Pokemon. What other games you been playing, man?
I actually haven't, yo. So, alright. So, I got it. And then I've been, I haven't gotten a chance to dive too deep into it that I wanted to. So let me explain. I got it 2 days early, and I tried playing some of it at work. As you can see on y'all y'all timeline on Twitter, I was just flooding y'all with videos. And then yesterday, I had to get ready to go to the Nintendo, Pokemon release over at Nintendo New York.
Yeah.
So I woke up late. Went and got my friend Eric. He's like one of the most amazing editors that I know. Like video, photos. Like, the man's a genius. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll help you record everything and then help you do the edits and whatnot." So I was like, "All right, cool." Went to go pick him up. Went over to I basically had to park by my job, take a cab over to Rockefeller Center, and I just like met up with everybody, started shooting video, and got something to eat because we was out there for a minute, yo. And in that last hour, feels like forever. Feels like forever, yo. And it's like, and it started getting like really cold too, so it was just, I was doing a lot.
Good old New York weather.
Yeah, because earlier today it was like really warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, no, yesterday it was kind of warm.
It was in the 50s.
It just, like, dropped, and I was like, man, that's wild. And the same thing happened today too. But I just came from his house, and we was editing this footage pretty much all day. Like, I literally just got back in. Like, I just stepped in the house, put my bag down, and I'm here.
Got it. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
You had an eventful week, but we're gonna talk about a lot of things because it's good to have you back. I know Chips has been working, handling business, so that's why you haven't seen Chips on every single week. But as for me, it's been playing Smash Brothers, and then last night Pokemon, and I got a lot to say. That's all I'm gonna say. I have a lot to say about Pokemon, so we're gonna get into that and get into my thoughts. But we're gonna go ahead and give a shout out to the chat because chat kind of jumping right now. We have Sabo Squad, and Sabo Squad said he's subscribing to you, Chips. Captain Dashers came through. What's going on? We got people who joined the Chill Squad officially on YouTube. We got Jake Miller and Chris Levi in the chat. We got Your Player 2 in the chat. Tether Gaming in the chat. And we have the homie T Belly who came through. Yo, T Belly, what's going on, man? Thank you for coming through. Really appreciate you, man. We have Jalen Core over here who came through. Dante the Slayer X. Matt Inside, thank you, and Hissen Huang. I'm terrible pronouncing names, so please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thank you guys for coming through. And yes, Jalen Core, Team Score Bunny. I have a Reboot already, and Reboot is looking really fresh. So, all right, we're gonna get into Pokemon in a second, but we gotta talk about the Sonic movie, guys. All right,
Please, let's do that.
now we all know that travesty that they put out a couple of months ago was absolutely horrible. That's not at all to be mentioned ever again when it comes to Sonic. We put that in the same class as Evolution. I'm not going to call it Dragon. I'm not going to finish that sentence. You guys know what movie I'm talking about. We're not going to call it, we put that movie in that same class because it was just that bad. But seeing the fact that they now have a great Sonic design, but not only a great Sonic design, there were so many Easter eggs they put into this game. How many of us they showed Green Hilliard Zone? They showed that. They showed they actually showed the logo when he was wearing his headband. There was quite a few Sega Easter eggs that I really liked that they had with Sonic in there. And Jim Carrey, they showed more of him playing a role of Dr. Robotnik, which was actually selling the movie to me more. It made me actually say, you know what? I want to go ahead and see this movie actually in theaters now because it actually looks like they put in an effort to make this not only appealing to us adults who grew up playing Sonic, but just a good movie all around. I would say the only thing that would have made this movie, this trailer perfect, if somehow, some way, Jaleel White was voicing Sonic. That would have made it perfect. that would have made it perfect. If they would have been able to pull that off, that would have made it perfect. But
might voice Tails in the next one.
Who knows? But it was good seeing the fact that they did get, you know, Jaleel White. I mean, not Jaleel, the guy who fixed this. And for me, I was a little concerned. I'm not gonna lie, because when I first saw this, I was thinking that there's a good possibility that with this game, I mean, with this movie, they were trolling us. Like, they planned to show this second half of Sonic for a while. That was my initial thoughts. But seeing the tweets down the line saying how they had to bring in new people, like they brought in the designers for and the animators from Sonic Mania to actually be a part of this movie, which is actually pretty big. I didn't think they was going to go down that route. They got people from the actual latest Sonic video game, the good Sonic video game rather, that was indie developed. They got them on this team. So all in all, I feel as though this is going to be a great movie, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Like, what are some things that you guys would hope to see from this movie already? Like, what's something, do you guys want them to chain this into a sequel, or do you think this should end kind of like most video game movies with just one movie?
Personally, I hope it does spawn a sequel. If anything, I hope that movies like this are successful, because I want to see more stories that have been told in video games make their way to film. Like, historically speaking, a lot of video game movies are bad. There have been some standouts, but even the standouts aren't really exceptional in most cases. Like Silent Hill, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like Chris Gans, like that dude knew how to transfer like the look and the feel of Silent Hill to film, because like he got the angles right for the camera to replicate the game. Like he used all of it, Akira Yamaoka's original tracks to really drive home like the ambiance and the atmosphere of that. Got the fog right, and basically took elements of Silent Hill 1 story and 2, I think, and kind of put them together to kind of to make that movie. But even then, like, a lot of critics just didn't. It was a movie that didn't stand very well on its own. Like, if you were a Silent Hill fan, it was great. But if you had no familiarity with Silent Hill, you were like, this is an okay horror movie, but not really exceptional. But I think what makes me sad is like there have been so many bad video game movies, some of which are like cult status bad, like Super Mario Brothers, for example, where it's actually good for a lot of people. But I hate that like video game movies have become sort of like a running joke, because there have been so many lackluster efforts between movies like Max Payne or Assassin's Creed that anytime you hear that a video game is going to become a movie, it's usually not going to go great. So my hope is that this does extremely well, and that not only does it get a sequel, but that we see Hollywood start to warm up to the idea of telling more video game stories. That would be my hope for it.
Got it. So Wong, wow, Tether just dipped. Wong.
Oh no, he put a message in the Discord. So
okay.
Something urgent came up. He had to go.
All right, cool. I couldn't exactly see what he said, but
don't worry, I got you, bro.
Appreciate it. Wong said Paramount also released a new SpongeBob CGI movie trailer recently, and Keanu Reeves is in this movie. Not what you might expect, though. I actually saw a glimpse of that on Twitter, where I saw SpongeBob. What is Twitter? It was Instagram, actually. An Instagram commercial. I saw SpongeBob, and I saw Keanu Reeves. I'm like, what is it? And I just kept on scrolling, because I was like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to see that. So, but yeah, anyone else want to go ahead and take the mic from this?
I'll say a little bit about it. Is that I like that they took the criticisms that they said from the first trailer, and they actually took the time to end this. It's pretty quick to get all this stuff done if they did to it. Because when you look at the trailer, you see that not just the scenes for scenes. When I saw people like on YouTube putting the movie by there's things that are lower. There's like different, like the actor that's playing with Sonic, he has like a different shirt in one of the scenes.
NX.
The way that he comes off. Hello, NX. The way he comes off the back of the truck and does a spin dash and all that. That stuff looks cool, So hopefully this can spawn another movie down the road where it spans, maybe showing some of the other characters you see in the Sonic universe coming in there. And hopefully this does well, because I want to see, for me and probably most of us, see video game movies do better going forward.
That's kind of like how I feel, because it's like I would like for them, like for me, the route that I would like to take, I would like for them to take a route where the second one introduces Knuckles and Tails, and they can end the third one off with maybe like a Shadow, maybe, hopefully. I know that's probably asking for much if they go for Shadow. But because the Sonic universe is actually pretty huge, is it's not huge, but it's bigger. It's bigger than most people expect. Most people just know just Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and maybe some know Shadow, but it goes way deeper than that. And I for one, I was a fan of the Sonic Adventure games. The ones on Dreamcast. I actually like those games. Yeah, like those games were dope, and I feel like Chaos was such a dope concept for a new villain for Sonic. Like extremely dope concept, and I felt it was even doper concept that you was even able to use Dr. Robotnik. For the there was so much with that game that I felt was underrated. So it's like I want to see where they are really taking this movie. I feel like they are taking the nostalgic route, and because they're taking the nostalgic route, and because this is like the smaller Sonic, not like the taller Sonic that you see in Sonic Adventure, I would say they could keep this with Sonic and Tails and end it off with Knuckles. They can go that route because yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, this feels like an origin story. It feels like this is pre-Sonic 1, kind of. Because Dr. Robotnik never even met Sonic yet. He still has hair, as you said before.
Right.
So.
I feel like the design with Sonic, they're keeping it a little bit more towards the modern era of Sonic. Because he's not, like, small and chubby with a big head. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think it's like the original Sonic?
Nah, it doesn't look like the original Sonic. It looks a little bit more modern. But I do want to see how this movie is going to turn out, and I'm hoping and praying that it's really good in terms of quality and what fans want to see. And I hope it makes a lot of money, because you remember a while back when they released the poster and it was the ugliest looking Sonic ever.
Oh
we were here talking about it.
Yeah.
And we were here talking about it, and a lot of people thought that it was just a 1-2 thing with swapping out, Sonic and textures and all this other craziness. It's not that simple. And then I had one of my friends actually just retweeted one of her tweets a while back about the whole thing, and she gives a little bit of detail in that little bit of tweet, and that's why I retweeted it, because I was saying that for so long. It's not that easy. They had to do a lot of things all over again. And the fact that they actually nailed this design while, changing
proper
up certain
animations
things,
and having the proper animations on top of that. That took a lot of work.
Right. So it's like, I want this movie to do so well, because those people, they need a raise.
They do.
That movie is still scheduled to come out for, I think,
this
February
month.
2020.
No,
this month.
It was originally this month. In fact, it was supposed to be the 13th or last week that the movie was supposed to come out.
See, so they definitely need that reward, especially for the amount of pressure that they were under. Even if the movie doesn't do a lot well, the fact that they were able to go back and change the design to, fan standards and still keep this movie on track to coming out, they need to be rewarded with something. You know what I'm saying? And I actually do want to see I want to see it turn into, a sequel, with this being Sonic 1, 2 with Tails being introduced, and then, Knuckles being introduced for a third movie, and just keep the same team, in terms of like the design and stuff like that, because my God, they just did such an amazing job on that.
They really did. But NX, what's going on, man? How you been, bro? Oh, he muted his mic. Oh, he's back? Is he back? He is back.
I think he's back. Attaboy.
Yeah, what up, guys?
What's going on, man? How was your week? Welcome back. I know you've been gone for a little bit and everything. You have anything you want to add to the whole Sonic discussion, man?
I mean, not too much. Back in, what was it, like August or April, whenever we saw the first trailer.
Yeah.
Looked pretty bad. They did a great job coming back from that. And the more I watch the trailer, the more I do want to see the movie.
Yeah.
Agreed,
Definitely.
man. Agreed. What I would ask, what are some of the things that you would want to see in this movie, like for them to accomplish? As basically from a long-time Sonic fan, like what are some of the things that you would like to see them do?
Well, I mean, I haven't imagined the Sonic movie, so it's hard to say. They've done like TV shows and stuff, but like Chips was saying, I'd like to see a sequel where they introduce the other characters, and it looks like they may end up on Sonic's world because of the clip
Oh, the
we saw
rain.
in the first trailer, where it's like the trippy background and whatnot.
I would like to see if they do that. I would also like to see if you know what? Be really cool if they have an Easter egg with chili dogs in this movie. That'd be really cool.
That's gonna happen.
That'd be really cool. If they have some type of cameo or some type of Easter egg with chili dogs, I'm gonna appreciate this movie a lot more. But I think we touched on what we need to do with Sign. We warmed up the conversation, allowed more people to come in. You guys aren't late for Pokemon. We talked about, the Sonic movie, the easy topic first. So more views. We see there's 20 people in here, so we can talk about the real stuff. Excuse me, and we get to talk about Pokemon. Now,
We're warming you up.
Now, Pokemon. Dork was like, no. Now, Pokemon is definitely something that it's under major controversy. And the reason why I said this is a discussion because this is not going to be just us talk about our impressions. It's too bad Tether had to go because he had to handle something important. But there were a lot of people like really shaming this game, and there was a lot of people saying that there were a lot of people they had, for lack of better words, they had their set opinions about Pokemon, and it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool on how a lot of us treated. A lot of us were treating Game Freak. Like there was a hashtag that said hashtag Game Freak lied, and it came out literally up until yesterday, right before the release, that hey, we may have mistranslated them saying this one part, and they probably didn't lie at all. That didn't look good. Secondly, there was people literally trying to find shadows, literally trying to find every graphical thing wrong with this game and say this game does not take advantage of the Switch. It got to the point where people were comparing this game to Dragon Quest XI, and then some people were even comparing this game to God of War or the PS4 for last year.
That's just wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, some of you guys are trolling, some of you guys are looking for attention, and some of you guys are just wilding. Like, to me, I don't care who you are. I was gonna do a video about this, but I said I would come off wrong. Like, literally, what I'm about to say right now, if the shoe fits, we could paint a shoe right here. We'll call the shoe petty. If the shoe fits, wear it. If you're somebody who is review bombing this game, you never played the game, or if you're someone that's saying this game sucks and you never played the game, you're petty and you're looking silly right now, because this game right now is in the running for the top Pokemon games ever made. Like, literally, it's up there. And yeah, the National Dex cut. Yeah, there are some issues. But on the flip side, this is the best looking graphical Pokemon game that any of us have ever played.
And I called it.
Literally the best. He did. Chips did call it. Chips is one of the first people. Chips. I'm gonna let Chips give it, because if you guys remember, there was an episode of the Chillcast where Chips came on here. Chips told you guys first, told all of us first, that this game looks a lot better in person. Remember when Chips went to PAX West? He played the game in person, and he did not. And yo, Chips, first of all, thank you.
I'm gonna just fly my banner right now.
Thank you so much for not spoiling it, because you didn't spoil some of the things in there that were heavy, like really heavy changes. Like, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but even on how the starter Pokemon are introduced to you, was really great. The way the game opens up, it opens up like a real RPG this time. It doesn't open up like the traditional Pokemon games. Like, here, name your character, choose this, and I'm the professor, and I'm going to teach you how to do this in your walk. This opened up like a real RPG. And nobody mentioning that. No, I hear all these criticisms about Pokemon. Nobody's talking about how this opened up like a real RPG. Nobody's talking about how the anime. Everyone's focusing on the legendary spinning on his Z axis, but nobody's talking about how Tyranitar had Hyper Beam charging up like a Kamehameha in his hand.
And that's the thing too, right? Because again, you know me, man. I get games early depending on if I want to get it or not. And that's the first thing I could have, tweeted out. Basically, I'm sitting here capturing footage on my Switch because I'm in handheld mode. I'm tweeting everything from my Switch. I could have showed the whole beginning, but I was like, nah, I want people to see this because it's a whole lot different than what we normally experience. So that, and then when you see this docked, it is beautiful. It's crazy. And then I kept telling people, yo, they was like, nah, the dex is cut. I'm like, yo, look, I feel you on that because I was one of those people that was a bit upset about it.
Yeah, I was too. Listen, Alakazam is one of my favorite Pokemon. He's not in the game.
But look. There are things in the game that, can make you overlook the dex being cut.
Yep.
Right? And the thing about this is that I had to tell somebody this the other day. Every game that's a franchise, no matter what it is, they'll take something and they'll give something. Pokemon and Game Freak, the Pokemon company, they're known for this. They've been, they gave us Pokemon basically, right? With Yellow, they gave us Pokemon. Well, they gave you Pikachu that'll follow you around, right? And later on in the games, they had different Pokemon that follow you around, and they took something else. They gave you cell phones, right? So that way, trainers that you come across on Route 2 and whatever, basically along your journey, can call you up and be like, "Hey, come meet me at so and so. I want to battle again." You fly over there, you wash them because already your Pokemon is like high level. And they're still at like level 20, right? They gave us that. It was fun. And then they took it away in the other games. In the remake, the remake of Gold and Silver, what I noticed, I don't think is right. I don't think it was there. You have the choice of having your mom save some of your money or not saving your money. So every time you win a battle, a portion of your money goes to your mom. And that's cool. That's it's a nice little feature. And then they changed it up with Heart Gold, where they had any Pokemon follow you around. So what I'm saying, they continuously do this. So they want to experiment with other things. They've been doing this for a while. Sometimes it may not be for the best. They know that. Other times it is absolutely fantastic. I think this one in Sword and Shield, it's one of those times where it's going to be absolutely fantastic because it's like a breath of fresh air with the amount of things that you can do in it.
And the thing,
yeah, go ahead.
The thing I wanted to say, because what up, V-Sips? V-Sips, what I'm about to say is not a shot at you, by the way, dog, because we spoke, and we're cool. So VC, I'm not taking a shot at you. Making sure I am going to respond to yo real fast. Your player too. It looked like you had some like face paint on your face real fast. Like it looked like you was cosplaying Snake from Metal Gear real fast. That's why I double take real fast.
Yeah, like I don't know if it must have just been like some.
For those of you watching the replay, rewind back. You see what I'm talking about. All right.
I don't wear makeup that much, but
But Dorkman, Dorkman said I have a problem. I have decided that the problem is the people complaining are grown. Pokemon is for 8 to 12-year-olds. And here's the thing that I want to talk about with that. That's the problem that I've noticed. That the majority of people who are up in arms about this are grown men. Not even just Like, not just grown people, the majority are grown men. Like, people who are, I would say, the youngest are late teens, and they're 16, from ages 16 or 17 to as old as about 25, 26 years old, complaining about a game. And I'm like, where are we? Like, how misplaced are we, man? I think literally you had to break it down to the point where I can understand being upset, and it's not the product that you want, and you want something to be up to high regards, and you hold something to high standards. That's cool. You as a consumer do that. But when because you are not getting what you want, you take it upon yourself on a game you never played, you downvote, you dislike videos. Because the IGN video, she played the game. She played through the game. She had weeks to play the game before writing that review. But people are saying her review can't be trusted, and everybody else did not. Everybody else who say her review cannot be trusted did not play the game for themselves. And
go ahead.
And
I'm gonna chime in on that.
And on top of that, I know she's a lover of Pokemon and everything, but on top of that, 95% of the people who saw her video did not watch her actual IGN write-up, which was way more in depth. Yo, hold up. I didn't buy Pokemon Red and Blue because Pikachu wasn't in the game. David Drayton. Yo, Double D, man. Yo, much love to Double D, man. Yo,
spoiler alert, he's actually in the game.
Yo,
Pikachu's in it.
Yo,
but shout out to David for that one, though.
Yo, big shout out to Double D with the $20 donation. Thanks for the love, fam. Yo, it's coming out soon, and actually, you're gonna be the first episode, but we'll talk more about that later. So, all right. So that took me off. Back to my point. The whole point that I'm trying to make is she had a huge write-up, and she actually discussed her dislikes with the game, which is something that a lot of people were coming at her for during the video. She didn't go into her dislikes. When you're trying to sell a product, the review is to sell the consumer. And at the same time, you are to focus on the positives when you only got a few minutes to say what is with this game. And she did not give the game a perfect 10 out of 10. She said for her and how she felt, and she reviewed it thoroughly. Me personally, 9.3 is not so far-fetched, because me playing this game as someone who has taken a hiatus from Ruby and Sapphire to X and Y and played every game from X and Y till now, I can honestly say that this game is about a 9 for me right now. So I'm not so much displaced from her saying a 9.3. I can see why she came to that conclusion. And going further, even yesterday until today, people are literally downvoting this on Metacritic, which is why, again, I'm saying Metacritic is overrated, is because there are people who have over 1,000, like literally, there's over 1,000 user reviews downvoting this game. That's insane. Like, literally, how many people have that much time to really downvote the review and just say, you know what, I don't want this game. Downvote the game, rather. Say I don't want people to get this game. So you know what? Because this game is not what I want, I want to stain this game. I want this game to have a stain. Yeah, that's what I meant. You mean review bombing? That's what I meant to say. Thanks, Dork. Yeah. It's crazy. Go ahead.
It is crazy, and I for the longest time after PAX, it was kind of like bothering me, because people were like, "Oh, this sucks," and they're reusing models and all of these things that sounded like legit concerns before, right? But they were just like going ham on it. I understand legit concerns, but don't keep complaining about it.
Just don't buy the game.
Go right. So, and then that's when I put out a tweet, the other day. If I don't want to see nobody that was going so hard on this game suddenly buy it and then try to walk back their whole point.
100%.
At that point, you're not just voicing concerns. You're trashing it. So now, if you buy it and you're like, "Oh man, this is the greatest game ever," nah, get out of here, fam. We're not accepting you into the club because you was trashing us from the beginning. And I've been telling people, yo, just give it a shot. Just give it a shot. Because it's not what you think. If they reuse models, so what? What kind of, like, how does that hinder the gameplay?
You know, hold up. And speaking of which,
I don't have much of opinion, but the people who are arguing against that, it's not the fact that they reused models, it's the fact that they didn't bring back the models that they had in the 3DS files, the high-res models of the other Pokemon that aren't in the game. That's what the big deal is with that. But
either way, it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Because the game still plays, you know, pretty good from what I've played so far, right?
Let me see.
For me having it and then also playing it at PAX.
Let me see what
it looks good. There's other features that we're gonna have. You can still use the Pokeball. There's a little, caveat with this, but you can still use this.
Look at this, guys.
You know what I'm saying? So
I did this on the PE podcast last night. I'm just showing you guys. For those of you who are using those scans of, you know, saying they lied, look how easy I was able just to duplicate this chess piece. Now look at this. Wireframe. Easy. That's not enough proof to say they lied. For those of you who want to talk about and act like you're professionals at 3D modeling, as someone who does 3D modeling, I made this myself. That's not enough proof. So really, get your acts together when you start saying someone lied and you don't have enough proof to show for it, because you will get called out.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing good. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
good, Jaken.
So it's so hostile in here.
Everything's gonna be
people
more
are passionate about
problematic.
Pokemon.
Chips, you look cool.
I just wish
Thank
people
you.
were more level-headed about Pokemon.
And
That's
X, I
all.
love your 45-degree angle as always.
I
Like to
Right.
lean back.
as someone who came into it, again, I'm like returning to Pokemon. I'm not very qualified to talk to the validity of either of these. One thing I will say that I found interesting, and I mentioned this on the Lootcast the other night, is the way different reviewers approach the game and their experience with Pokemon. Like, you know, mainstream outlets like, you know, like IGN or GameSpot or Kotaku, normally those are great for like a quick high-level view of what to expect and to assess, like, you know, the technical merits of a game, I guess. But then also you have to factor in like the subjective opinion of, you know, that particular journalist or reviewer who's critiquing the title. And you know, it was clear to me that the IGN reviewer, she had great renown for Pokemon. She made sure to mention right at the beginning, like, I've played every Pokemon, which sort of established her as a bit of an authority in terms of her ability to speak to it and try to review it. But at the same time, I also like to watch a lot of YouTubers' thoughts on it too. And one of the ones that I did watch was the Game Explain video. And one of the things that he mentioned that I thought was interesting was that apparently this Pokemon is loaded with content that very much caters to like the post-story mode sort of competitive play arena, people who like to do battles. But the way he explained it was he himself was not a huge fan of battling with Pokemon. He plays it more for the single-player story and the narrative and that experience. Mm-hmm. Now that would be what would be appeal to me more too. I don't really have much interest in battling with other people online. Like I also have more interest in like the camp system and making curry than I do any sort of battling with friends. It's just not appealing to me. You know, the same like a shooter would be or you know, like a fighter. So you know, I'm curious to see if, as somebody who's trying to get back into Pokemon, if the single player experience is lackluster the way he explained it, and really to hear more of your guys' thoughts on what you think about the single player so far. And also, side note, it's very hard for me to take IGN's review of Pokemon seriously, because I don't know how you give Pokemon a 9.3 and my precious Death Stranding a 6.8. I know it wasn't the same person, but I have issues with this. So,
but it's the same company, and
Lost some
I'm
love
with
for
you,
me.
Josh. I have issues with it too.
Yeah.
Listen, okay. First of all, let's talk about that your concern right there. First of all, you know, Death Stranding is a different type of game. You know, it's not the same game, and you know, and at the end of the day, the number one thing across the board about Death Stranding was this is not a traditional fun game. That's traditional. You find it fun. Yes,
but
you find it fun.
Fun is subjective. You know what you?
It is.
The term evolves over time throughout generations and the different styles of games that are made. So
I feel you, my brother. I feel you. I feel you, mama. I feel you.
He doesn't feel you.
No, to generally say the game's not fun is You know,
listen, I feel you.
it's a lie. You know?
I feel you, but there's
the reviewer should have said this game is not my speed.
Listen.
I have problems because of X.
They said traditional fun. You know, I get that. You know what? Listen.
Did they say traditional fun?
They did. It's
did
not
they say
fun.
like side scrolling, beat 'em up, traditional kind of fun?
They said it's not fun in a traditional way. And believe it or not, this wasn't even IGN. This is someone actually who gave the game a 10 out of 10. They said the game is not fun in a traditional way, but they still gave the game a 10 out of 10. So we're not talking about that with Death Stranding. We're not going to go back into that. But in another way, shape, or form, what you could call fun, some people call watching paint dry fun. I don't call that fun. So yes, fun is subjective. I get you. I feel you, my brother. I feel you. But when it comes to this whole Pokemon thing and the reason why it got a 9.3, come on, man, it's Pokemon. It's nostalgia, man.
I mean, you know, this Pokemon is different. Pokemon's a different kind of game. You know what I'm saying? You know,
but
I'd give Pokemon a good score just off the bat because it's Pokemon. But then, you know, later on, I gotta reassess things and be fair with it.
I feel you, but before I get into the chat, because the chat actually has some really good points, I really want to get Chris Levi's and Jaken's input on this.
Okay, I'll go with mine. So obviously, most of y'all in the chat here, or at least the cast, know that I haven't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Blue and my brother had Red. I remember getting Squirrel as my first playthrough, and then going to Bulbasaur. Went that and going getting the legendary birds like Zapdos and all that, and I didn't touch the Pokemon game since then. I mean, I had the Pokemon game, the cards, and even the little board game that had the little pieces you put on there.
Yeah.
And I remember playing that, you know. But then, obviously, I wasn't huge into games like I am now, and I went another way. You know, I started playing other games, school stuff like that, music, and got into that. So whenever I started thinking about getting a Switch, I had talks with Avidan and Studio Nintendo and Chips and all that. What games would be selling me on this product not just now, but in the future? Well, they sold me on Super Smash Bros. For now, and for the future, Pokemon. And I started looking at it, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to jump back into Pokemon. It's got this long legacy. It's got all this stuff, you know. So I'm going to jump back into it. And playing this game, I've really enjoyed. I'm not going to try to get any spoilers out there, but playing the game is really, really fun. It's easy to get into. As you know, and all that. I like the graphics of it, the new Pokemon I'm seeing. Last night, you're able to play with people online really easily. Me, Avidan, and Nick all got in there. They got in the thing, and I was like, I saw his name pop up, and I just clicked on it. I was in there wearing a Dynamax battle right there, seeing each other pop in, and it was like in a matter of seconds. And it's really, really cool, especially when you get to go through the wild area and see other people there walking around. You can walk up to them and all that. It's really, really cool. So far, I don't really do reviews. I do more impressions. But if I had to give it a score, I'd give it probably a 9.5 right now because I'm really enjoying the game. I actually have it right here on my thing loaded up, messing around a little bit in the game, and it's really, really fun. It's a solid game. Yeah, it's not the most graphically this or that, and people can compare it to whatever they want. But for a Pokemon and for what they put on the Switch, it's really, really good, and I got to commend Game Freak.
Got it. Jaken, man, you have anything you want to add to that, dude?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest gripe with the last few... Well, I played Ultra Sun, and I wanted to really like that game. Like, I wanted to. I played it, but the biggest problem with that game was that it was on the 3DS. Like, that was the whole thing. I didn't want to sit there and, like, cramp my hands trying to play it. And I've been playing this, and this is what I've been wanting. It's Pokemon on a bigger screen with more comfortable controls. And the graphics, they're nice. Like, they're not bad at all. The problem that you'll run into is if you start, like, nitpicking. You know what I mean? If you start looking for things, you're going to find them. If you just kind of, like, enjoy the ride and... you know, look around and look for Pokemon instead of watching shadows and everything like that, you'll enjoy the game more instead of trying to, like, find stuff to dislike about it. But I haven't played with anybody online yet. Maybe I'll play with you guys tonight if you guys want to. But yeah, I like it, man. It's fun. I named a Pokemon after you, Avidan.
No.
Did you name one after me, Jaken?
I want to see
No,
this.
sir. No,
Not
sir.
I want to
No,
see
I don't
this.
appreciate this, sir.
I want to see this.
All
Not
right.
yet. Not yet, Josh. I haven't found a Pokemon that captures
But-
your majesty.
But we're gonna have to listen. The only one I'll accept is Chips. What's the pandas thing? Or what's the bear? No, Ursaring.
You're sure?
Yeah, Ursaring?
Yes.
Nah, bro.
You don't look nothing like no Ursaring. Get out of here.
Nah, bro.
Listen.
I can't pull him. I kicked him out of my party already. You know what I'm saying? He had to go.
Listen.
I had you in my party for about 15 minutes, and then I was like, nah, he's gotta go.
Listen. All right. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead and go to the chat for a second. Cause I saw some really good comments in the chat, and I really wanted to touch on some of the things that someone said. So, Sabo Squad said it's sad because this toxic behavior makes us responsible gamers look like a bunch of spoiled brats. They're always a group with anything in life. That's true. VC said people who review Bomb are absolute no lives. This is true. Jalen said, I think one of the reasons why people were complaining is that they thought this gen would be graphical upgrades similar to Breath of the Wild. Here's the thing. Breath of the Wild is an empty world. No matter, listen, I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm going to throw this out there. As much as I love Breath of the Wild, and I was even discussing this with a friend the other night, Breath of the Wild is a world of nothingness. It's a huge world. It's a beautiful world that you can do almost anything in. But the majority of the world is empty. There's not many enemies in there. Think about it. When you run through Breath of the Wild and everything, you run into a lot of blank areas for a while. You run into camps that do have enemies, but for the most part, it's empty. A game that I was hoping this could be like is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is more populated. It has more families of monsters running, so it can kind of give the image that you have of the family of monsters or a Pokemon in one area. You could battle them in real time rather than turn-based. That was something that I was more leaning towards when I was hoping for a Pokemon remake for the a Pokemon game for the Switch. But still, the turn-based game is still fun, so I'm not at all upset with that. Sabo Squad said the IGN person Casey Deathtraps, who gave the Pokemon 9.3, is a Pokemon super fan, so that view is completely warranted from someone who knows the series. Exactly. That's why I ain't getting the game. Chips. Okay, I don't know what he.
I don't know what that was about.
Me neither.
I lost track of that.
Dante the Slayer X said Chips slapping everyone with the hard truth. He is tonight. Let's see.
Who wants to be the panda?
Deadlocks. I can be the panda.
Chris.
Deadlock 7. I caught one already. Deadlock
Chris Levi?
Chris Levi is gonna be the panda.
Panda. I got you, homie.
Deadlock 7 said, here's the thing. Should you be able to review a product if you have it? This is what a comment I wanted to read. Deadlock 7 said, here's the thing. Should you be able to review a product if you haven't used it? For example, on Amazon, etc., you can't review something unless you purchased it. I want to say I want to agree with this, and Smash JT in his video pointed this out as well, that you should not have the ability to review the game without proof of purchase. And I am for that now, because now you have a whole bunch of entitled people abusing the fact that they could review a game. Because now all you got to do is go to someone's Let's Play and say, well, I reviewed the game. No. Actually, go out and invest like other people did and pick up a controller and learn.
That ties into a later topic for tonight, too.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so that, we'll circle back around to that.
That's gonna be a heavy topic, and I feel like we have to talk, because this affects everybody.
Yeah, let's get through the rest of the chat comments real quick before we jump into that.
Yeah, looking through the chat comments. Wong said, remember the too much water meme? I do not, actually.
From Spider-Man, I think.
Oh, the Spider-Man meme. Yeah, got it. Puddles.
Puddlegate.
Puddlegate.
I remember that.
Ruined the sales of the game. I mean,
Clearly.
never bounced back, never recovered.
You shouldn't put Breath of the Wild, just prop Pokemon up. I was using Breath of the Wild. I was only using Breath of the Wild only because
It's true though.
people were using Breath of the Wild as a means to have that expectation with Pokemon, and they were doing that because Masuda. Well, it was rumored. It wasn't even confirmed. It was rumored that Masuda wanted this next Pokemon game to shake things up like Breath of the Wild and like Mario Odyssey. It was rumored in 2017 that he said that. It was never confirmed. So that's that. And I remember that rumor because I actually covered that in news when I was doing gaming news before. So let's see. No, it was originated from Pokemon original. Oh, he said that was that Too Much Water meme was originated in Pokemon. Yeah,
that's what it was from. Oh, I thought he was talking about Puddlegate. My bad.
Yeah,
Puddlegate.
I just automatically reverted to the whole Puddlegate thing in terms of like people nitpicking at at different things for the game.
He said it. This dude VC said I look like a ninja. No, I do not. Chill out.
Dorkman, I am not wearing a blanket. This is actually a banner. You probably won't be able to see like the full length. Well, all right, here we go. This is probably cuts off a little bit, but it's a little banner that they were selling at Nintendo New York. They had Sable, Score Bunny, and Groki. They had a bunch of merch. Quick little plug: I have a video showcasing everything from last night's release. That it's actually gonna go up sometime early next week. So just
I'll be on the lookout for that.
Pokemon's so cute.
So all right. So you know what? I think we could put. Cause we're about 1 hour in. I think we could put the Pokemon discussion to rest because this next topic is actually going to probably take up the majority of the conversation. We may or may not have Q&A at the end of this because it's something that needs to be talked about. Now, YouTube has changed their terms of service in many ways. In one, if you're a YouTuber, I encourage you to go read over it itself. Things like if they don't find your channel commercially viable anymore, they can shut down your channel. Yeah, that's a thing. And there's more that goes into that, but there's the one thing that I want to really touch on tonight is the FTC being involved with YouTube. Now I'm going to read briefly. I'm going to read briefly from the Next Web what the FTC plans to do. It is in conjunction with what we have to talk about tonight. So earlier this year, YouTube agreed to pay the Federal Trade Commission $200 million to settle an investigation. The FTC was attempting to determine whether the site has violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. Under COPPA, sites cannot collect information on children without the consent of their parents, or at least without providing a means of the parents to control what's being collected. YouTube has an extensive list of characteristics of quote-unquote kid-targeted video, includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children. That's a big one. Including animated characters or cartoon figures. That's another big one. Includes activities that appeal to children and quote-unquote empirical evidence of the video's audience. Of course, this leaves creators in the opposition. Any video they mark as being for children will not have a comment section, info cards, personalized ads, which I'm going to touch on how bad it is in a second, or a number of things that many video makers rely on. Such videos will probably not net the creator much revenue. TubeFilter estimated the lack of personalized ads could cut revenue up to 90% per video. Now, touching on the last parts of this, it said, so what happens if they just don't mark the video as being for kids? Well, if the video is ruled to be for kids without having been labeled as such, keyword, I'm going to read that over again, how dangerous this is. Well, if the video is ruled to be for kids without being labeled as such, the content creator could be sued by the FTC directly. If they don't set their audience, YouTube also warns it can be set for them. As you might expect, YouTubers are not pleased with the changes. Several have questioned whether this applies to any content that a child might watch. Gaming videos that feature kid-friendly games, for example, are they required to comply with this? If you search Kappa on YouTube, you can see video after video from the few days of creators attempting to determine whether or not they'll be able to continue making their old content. The new rule goes into effect as of January 1st, 2020. Now, how much you can get sued for? Guess what, guys? You can get sued up to $42,000 per video. So if the FTC or if YouTube, not you as the creator who says this is not for kids, if the FTC and YouTube decides, well, this looks like it's for kids, so we're going to say this is for kids, and you don't label it properly, you can be sued.
Man. What they're suing us for, man, is more money than some of us making a year.
Thank you.
If they hit me with all that, I would probably just like the debt would follow me to the grave.
Yeah, this is big changes that we really. I want to know if anybody wants to reveal it. What did y'all mark y'all's channel as? Because it popped up on mine when I did a live stream, and I said not kid friendly.
Yeah, I said not kid friendly.
I said not kid friendly because honestly, for real, I'm gonna go into what this means. I say, listen, and I'm gonna say this now on camera. I'm gonna give this because I'll fight that case. I ain't paying no $42,000. This channel is not a kid channel. You know what? No. We're gonna do this. This channel is not a kids channel, and it never was a kids channel. I'm gonna break this down for those of you who are watching on YouTube. For those of you you're watching and everything. Hopefully you're not too slow. You can understand this. And if you can't tell, I'm a little upset right now that you guys are sending this out like this. So if this comes off a little harsh, good. Anyway, let's just define what is a kids channel and what is a family-friendly channel. Okay? Kids channels. Or matter of fact, let's start off with media first. Let's start with kids media. Yo, you came just in time. What's going on, Go Chain?
What's going on, family?
Talking about YouTube's terms of service real fast. So
can y'all hear me? Am I good?
You're a little loud.
Okay.
So right now, if you can still hear me, sincere, I'm basically you came in at the right point. I'm saying this now for the people who haven't really got it for the first time. This channel.
Am I good now? Am I loud?
You're good. You're perfect.
Oh, man. What's going on, y'all?
What's good? So. Go Chain for you know my channel and everything, but I'm saying this for everyone for the first time again. This is not a kids channel. This is a family friendly channel. We're about to break down the difference for YouTube right now for anyone watching this video so I can use this as reference to show and break this down. So here's the difference between kid media and family friendly media. Kid media is Mr. Rogers, Barney, Sesame Street.
Right.
That is kid. That is targeted kid audience. Okay? Family friendly is Family Matters. Family friendly is Seventh Heaven. Like, I'm bringing back to the old school shows because of Disney Plus and everything. But that's family friendly. Okay?
Why'd you cite Seventh Heaven?
That's
a good show, dude.
That just came to my mind of old 90s. Boy Meets World.
Family friendly content.
Boy Meets World is even family friendly. But
okay, there you go. I take that one.
Moving on. Even though the last season could suggest that most of Boy Meets World is family friendly. Let's go even into video games. Everyone's calls says Nintendo makes kid games, and I've been saying from jump, Nintendo makes family friendly games, which is a big difference. Games now it can make some kid games. I will give them that, like the Kirby and Yoshi games. You could call those kid games, but games like Breath of the Wild, games like even I would say Mario Odyssey, hand that to a 5-year-old who they're gonna have a hard time playing that. That's a game you play with your kids, and you teach them and you show them the ropes on how to play the games. Even the original Super Mario World, I will call that family friendly because of the amount of hand-eye coordination that's needed to play that game. So,
where are we at now?
No, we're on YouTube's terms of service and everything. I'm explaining the difference between kid-friendly and kid directed and family-friendly. And why, and bringing it back to this channel, the reason why this channel is family-friendly and not a kid's channel is simply because, just because I don't use profanity on my own channel and everything.
Well, they did say gaming content would be excluded.
Yeah. Well, here's no,
they said that, but
they said that, but you know what? Their other wording, their other wording makes me want to slap them in the face sometimes because. Again, see, that's not kid friendly what I just said, because because seriously, like their wording is so suspect. Their wording says, I'm gonna read it again. For NX. They said kid targeted video including characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children. Mario is a character that appeals to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. Goku from Dragon Ball Z is an animated figure. So if you talk about Goku, if you focusing on Goku, if you focus on Mario, guess what? You are in that realm now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's not anything wrong with it. It needs to not happen, is what it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
What's the reasoning behind them doing this? Like, what's
because of an investigation, basically for like the whole Momo situations and stuff like that. YouTube is under a $200 million investigation to settle an investigation. And in order to get past that settlement, they have to allow the FTC to come in and make sure that they are not breaking the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
But what prompted that though? Like, was there a certain instance that
with Momo and stuff like that? Like, basically, there was just some really wild videos that posed as kid friendly, but they were not kid friendly, and they were leading kids to do different things, leading kids to share information online and different things of that nature. It's minuscule stuff.
I'm not talking to you when I say this. That'll make sense, but it doesn't make sense for YouTube to come and set a creator's video or channel too child friendly. It should be the other way around.
Well, exactly. Don't they? Because it popped up the prompt and you get like the option.
It's not the opposite, which is what they're doing.
Right, you get like the option where it says like this is for kids, this is kind of in between, and this is for adults.
Now YouTube will just, if they deem it kid friendly, they'll go and set it to kid friendly, and they can hurt you as a creator.
Because they definitely won't say that about mine. So.
Yeah.
I don't even have a choice.
There are a lot of people who are family friendly YouTubers who don't curse or whatnot, who will be flagged, and they can actually go and get in trouble for saying their stuff wasn't kid friendly.
I'm kid friendly.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's not up to your decision. So even if I was to mark my videos not family friendly, if YouTube decides to say, but you are family friendly, or you are this is for kids. Like if they was to look at one of my Pokemon videos and say this is a kid directed video, then even though I said it's not, they could change. Basically their wording implied that they can rule it, despite my ruling, they can rule it and say it's not kid friendly. So I mean, it is kid friendly.
It's already happened to some channels. It's already happened.
So what you're saying is that they can take it out of our hand. Oh, we put a video out there and we say it's not kid friendly, but they mark it as kid friendly. They took it out of your hands.
Exactly, and if they do that, the FTC has grounds to sue you, basically.
But is that them demon?
They can fine you for like $25,000 or something like that.
42.
Is it
42,000?
Yeah.
Well, is it just kid friendly or is it kid targeted?
Kid targeted.
Kid targeted.
It's actually kid targeted and kid friendly. So it's kid targeted and kid friendly. So basically, even if the children are the secondary audience, that's included as well.
Wait, what was the difference between kid targeted and kid friendly?
Kid targeted is only for kids, and kid friendly is even if kids are the secondary audience to what you're going for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So that in itself is little,
Yes.
So you guys can go ahead and take the floor
I'd
more.
like to see what y'all have to say.
Because I said a lot. I focused it on me for a second because I want a cut where if I have to take out and show YouTube that what my channel is, you guys know they know who's talking directly.
Understandable.
It is
And thank you Andy for the $3 super chat.
I was gonna say it's a little bit of an interesting situation because the Momo thing was such a huge deal because people didn't know what their kids were watching on YouTube. They thought they were safe watching, like handing them the tablet and clicking on a little video with like a cartoon train, and then all of a sudden there's like a creature telling them to kill themselves. So it's almost like an overreaction that's spreading to things that have nothing to do with like your channel, Josh's channel. You have nothing to do with children, and the fact that if they deem you one thing and then you don't abide by it, you have to be penalized for it. It doesn't really make any sense, and I honestly might just go to Twitch. I don't.
I agree with what Jake is saying because when they take it out of your hands and it's like, okay, you put this out there, you label it, you do all your stuff, and you market it this way, and then YouTube comes in there, or the FC comes there. Oh, it's actually for kids friendly because you didn't use no cussing words, you didn't do this, and you played, and say you talked about Mario or you're playing Minecraft, and it's like, I wasn't doing that. I was doing it for my friends that are adults like me, people in their 20s, people like me. I'm like,
exactly.
But no. But when you look at it this way, and it's like, and then you got to go through all this stuff to fight it, and probably at the end of the day you might lose that fight, and then it's like, it's making a lot of us worry about our stuff because it's making it harder to sit there and create content because now you got to go through all this stuff. It's like I'm gonna put it out there. Maybe some of y'all saw it, but I shared a tweet the other day when all this stuff was coming up because Metal Jesus Rocks, he put a tweet out there that they're changing stuff for not just YouTube but social media and all that. The way you got when you get products and all this other stuff, and it's like, whoa. And it's like you got to sit there and let people know if you're getting this, getting that, where it came from, and all this stuff that usually you could just say, hey, I got this product, I want to tell people about it and all this. And if you got it free, you've got to let them know. If you did all this stuff, and it's makes a headache for a lot of us because it's a lot of stuff that we were already doing, but now we've got to do it even more. Not just in like, not just a description, but now they say you got to have it in your video and you got to have this because some people may just be listening to it or, and all this. And it's like, why?
Yeah. So Luke, going to that point, Chris, because that's a good one. About letting people know if you're advertising a product or not. I don't see that as a bad thing because as an influencer, you should be doing that to begin with. If you're gonna give, an honest review, you should let people know. You know what I'm saying? Especially for content creators when we review products,
that were given to us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was given to us. We should let them know.
Full disclosure.
Like when they gave me Gears 5, I let it be known this code was provided by Microsoft and Xbox Studio.
Aren't you supposed to do that anyway? Isn't that the law for full disclosure?
You're not supposed to do it, but you should do it. Now you're supposed to do it. Which is a good thing because it keeps the content creator on the right path morally because you don't, and then it's further security for you, right? Because you don't want to get caught slipping later on, when somebody was like, oh, so you reviewed this product a while back and da-da-da, and you're like, I don't remember that. And I'm like, oh, so you out here lying to people. You know what I'm saying? That hurts your credibility. So, yes, you should be saying whether you reviewed something or not. It's just morally is the right thing to do. And I'm glad that, that's now a rule that's put in place because now you got to do it all over social media. And on Instagram, they did this a while back without really saying too much about it. You have to, if it's something that you're advertising, you have to put in your hashtags ad, A-D. Mm-hmm. You have to make it clear. If you don't put the hashtag, you have to say it in the description, right? But either way, you have to make it clear. If it's something that you're selling, your page has to be set up so that way you can sell that product. when you tap on an image, little white bubbles pop up. So that way, when you click on it, it takes you to the homepage of that store, of that product. So that way you can buy it through the Instagram web browser, whatever, and then you be on your way. You should be doing that. So anybody that's complaining about it, about now they got to put hashtag ad, or they got to say, this is sponsored, or this code was given to me by X, Y, and Z. If they got a problem doing that, they've been shady to begin with.
They was fraud from the rip.
It's like
I totally agree.
it's intentionally misleading. Like, do you remember back when people were playing Apex, and like they were getting paid to play Apex?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't say anything about it. Like, that's...
Right. So they're getting paid to say the game is good when, in their eyes, the game could have been trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you're good. Oh, so I'm not overly concerned about this for a few reasons. One, the first reason that I personally am not very concerned about is I looked at my analytics whenever this whole thing's happening. For people that are under the age of 18 or in the what's the breakdown for ages 13 to 17 years old makes up 1.4% of my audience. So knowing that, it would be, to me, incredibly unlikely that you could make a strong case that I'm making content targeted at children if 1.4% happen to be children that might stumble.
Mine's is even less.
Right. So, say what now?
According to YouTube's words, they don't care about that. They didn't mention anything about it.
Well, I'm not so much concerned about YouTube violations as I am like when it comes to like being sued by the FTC. The other thing is, I don't think that we're going to see widespread lawsuits from the FTC. One, I don't think it's very cost effective. Two, this is a political thing too, right? In terms of the FTC being a political body. Well, or what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here. A government organization.
Yeah.
So those people have to think about things like re-election and appointment in the Senate as well, and hurting their own chances for re-election and partisan interest, even though it's a bipartisan organization. So to that end, it doesn't really help the FTC to just randomly start being like, we're going to sue 10,000 YouTubers. Not to mention the fact that they'll make a lot more money for their efforts, or make a bigger splash in the headlines, a more positive splash, if they go after companies that they think are towing the line. Now, what I think, however, is a more interesting question is not so much, am I going to be misconstrued as directing things towards children, but are you going to shoot yourself in the foot going the other way? And what I mean by that is, let's say that you go out of your way to make sure your channel is not going to be targeted at children by making sure that it's not necessarily family friendly. Do you then shoot yourself in the foot from a revenue generation standpoint? Because then you're going to get dinged for monetization because you're not advertiser friendly.
Exactly.
So that raises a more interesting problem. That concerns me more than being sued by the FTC. And the other thing too is, like, when we've seen bodies try to do like these large sweeping like individual lawsuits, whether it was for copyright violations for like illegally downloading movies, or when it was sharing music in the 90s, that usually was something that like popped up and they would try to make an example out of like a few people, and then it sort of fizzled out over time because people realized how ridiculous it was. So I'm not concerned with widespread sweeping lawsuits. And the thing is, the other reason I'm not so concerned with gaming in particular is because YouTube just dropped a ton of money in trying to promote Stadia. They want the advertising dollars that gamers bring in. So if they send the message out to every creator like, hey, you might get shut down or sued by the FTC, and they really let that become like a widespread viral problem for creators, that's a horrible position for them to be in, as it would just, because they're already going to be losing people to Twitch and Mixer, and then you want to sweeten the pot for people to vacate your platform by letting them get sued by the FTC or randomly shutting down channels because they might toe the line with a Pokemon video. No, that's not happening. They'll lose way more money there than they will in the FTC.
I wouldn't put anything. I wouldn't put anything past how silly YouTube and how silly Google could be. Like, I'm gonna just give you Spawnwave's tweet. Spawnwave said, "I paid $130 to get into Google Stadia's beta with Destiny 2.
Right.
Microsoft let me in the xCloud beta for free and threw me 50 games to try out."
Yo.
So I can't exactly say Google and YouTube are thinking with a proper heads right now. They're not thinking with the best heads.
Well,
right
now.
I absolutely think they are.
But that right there is kind of like a difference of where both of those companies are at. Microsoft with Xbox is really trying to they giving out free codes to influencers. They doing a bunch of stuff. They need that goodwill amongst gamers. Google was like, man, this is our thing. So
yeah, but they're the new bucks trying. But they're the new bucks trying to profit off games that already been out years ago, man.
Bro, but you said my man's dropped $130 to get in. Just
right.
Destiny 2.
Hey, I also dropped 130.
Yo, give me that.
You are crazy.
Something else is worth your while.
But context, I did it.
I got mad games.
Of novelty and content creation, not because I'm like, ooh, time to jump onto the streaming bandwagon for my games. I don't want to do that. I'm a physical collector.
I feel
what
you.
I will say is, Google's in a uniquely vulnerable.
But I'm pretty. Yeah, they are.
I was just going to say, like, Google is in a uniquely vulnerable position because they are poised to become pioneers for the game streaming movement, right? They're the first ones to really try it in a widespread manner. And what's happening right now is Microsoft is doing to Google what Sony did to Microsoft at the beginning of this generation. They're taking a wait-and-see approach. They don't want to be first. They want to be best. So they're going to wait and see how Google plays this Stadia launch to see if the consumers are actually going to be receptive to the idea. And then they can just demolish Stadia if they want with Project Xbox because they've got the name recognition. Nobody knows what a Stadia is yet.
It's the whole bait and switch.
It's uncharted territory.
But one thing I want to throw out there, my channel analytics clearly state that I am not family friendly. Oh, I am not kid directed, basically.
Right.
My age demographic is from 18 to 34-year-olds.
Well, then you're in the clear.
But you know what? But you know what though? I don't trust, because I could believe that. Like, I could believe that. But I don't trust Google. I don't trust YouTube and everything.
I agree with Josh. I don't think the FTC thing is that big of an issue there. No. It's how your channel and videos will be marketed if YouTube marks them as kid directed or kid friendly or whatever the terminology they use is.
But this is the same YouTube that literally, because of Logan Paul and PewDiePie, they made the smaller creators suffer for it.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's
how YouTube will market your videos if they deem that you're kid friendly, whether you are or not.
The solution to this is you just got to drop an F-bomb in the beginning of your videos.
But you see, here's the thing about that too. Is a double-edged sword, because you do that, you can get instantly demonetized and everything. That was the biggest thing on why most people had to not.
I don't know. I've dropped quite a few F-bombs in
the first beginning of the parts.
I don't. But you don't. Who does that? Who just starts the video and hit record and just F like nobody does that.
You don't got to drop consecutive F-bombs. Just drop one.
It's got to be tasteful.
But
it's got to be tasteful curse words. Yeah.
But here's the thing, it's like for the thing is, it's like, YouTube in itself is just showing that it's not a viable platform. This is the point of this conversation that I'm getting at is YouTube is a good place if you want to use it as leverage for your own platform, for your own business. But I've been dealing with YouTube for about 3 years now, and in the consecutive 3 years I've been working with YouTube, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's been getting progressively worse. I'm just being real. It's getting progressively worse. So
for you?
No, I'm talking about in general, in terms of a platform, in terms of the gatekeeping, in terms of the things that are happening, in terms of numerous times this year, the terms of service changed. Like about 3 or 4 times this year, it changed.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest video platform on the planet.
It is.
And it also means they're under the most scrutiny.
Yeah, and it's like, it is the biggest platform, and I'm not knocking that. It is a great platform. Don't get me wrong. It is a great platform to put yourself. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm not saying go on a YouTube strike. What I'm saying is use YouTube as leverage for your own stuff. Like, I'm getting into ownership at this point. And I had this conversation with you guys before a few episodes, like about 20 episodes or 30 episodes ago. I said ownership. I am big on ownership. Like, you need to take control of what we own, because what I don't want to see is us in a position where we grow to the point where we have 10, 20, 30, 100,000 subscribers, right? Yeah. Then things will happen with Ichaka Gaming. Like, she got hacked and everything. It took about a week for her to get her account back.
Yeah.
YouTube was dragging their feet with that. Or or another case where there's people who literally wake up with over 100,000 subscribers and their channel is gone, deleted, like nothing said, then there's no customer service to get through to help to resolve that.
Dude,
What I'm saying is, don't be in that position. Don't wait for something like that to happen. Don't say, well, that was just one case. Like, don't be the next case. What I'm saying is, because YouTube is showing their tail right now, they're showing their colors right now, and showing that us, the creators, we come last. What I'm saying is, be in a position where you own everything that is yours, and then if in the event something happens in this rented space of YouTube, which I've always call it, this rented space of you, if something happens with this rent, guess what? Well, I already leveraged this to my own company, my own model already. So guess what? I can still move forward and move here. So guess what? When you as a brand move over, people are still following. You, Josh, yourself said it is better to have 1,000 people loyal to your brand than 1 million people following you, right?
Agreed.
So guess what? Focus on get 1,000. Focus on that 1,000. Focus on that 100. Even 100 is viable to keep a business going. Mm-hmm. Focus on that 100, 1,000. Even 10 could start you up. You have 10 people backing you up. They back you up strongly. You can get yourself in a better position. Focus on the people that are helping you. That's where I'm getting at, because I see where YouTube is going, and I don't want to wait another 2 years. Hey, what's going on, Kazoo? I don't want to wait another 2 years, and then we see the next thing with YouTube, and it's like you as a content creator are constantly adjusting to the whims of YouTube. It's almost like you're constantly seeing, I got to change to the rental space. I'm in a new apartment, so I got to change to what this loan officer, this landlord wants. And at the end of the day, you don't want to put yourself in a position where gentrification happens and then you're almost forced to move out.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
I mean, the thing too, though, is like, I mean, yeah, it's a platform we all get to use for free, right? I mean, we have to play by their rules. Like, I'm not saying I agree with everything. I'm not saying YouTube can do no wrong. That's not my position. My position is that, like in terms of it's basically a requisite that we have to adapt to how the platform shifts. I mean, That's just the price of admission. I mean, absolutely, that's what we signed up for.
And absolutely, and that's why I said, while you're still paying, while you're still betting into their rules, be in a position where 5 to 10 years from now you're playing by your own rules. Diversify your content. Metal Rock Jesus can stream his videos on Amazon Prime right now. I've never seen a content creator from YouTube go ahead and do that.
Pixel Game Squad.
I don't follow everybody, so that's why I said it was new to me.
Gotcha.
It was new to me.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. No, don't sit there and make your whole brand be just YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
put all your eggs in one basket.
Because since he said he's been messing with it for the last 3 years, are really showing YouTube's colors with Logan Paul, with PewDiePie, with anything that we're always that these big creators can do this, and then they force it down on us little creators like us, and they're like, you got to watch this way you talk, the way you did the live streams, you got to now put it in A's this. And it's showing you that, use it to leverage your brand, get your name out there more. But when YouTube's not there anymore, or maybe Twitch, Mixer not there, you can still have your brand and go out there and be able to give it to somebody and say, hey, this. Like Avidan being one of the people and other people in here having their own website is something that this goes down. He can sit there and send you the link to the website and you can find all his stuff.
Get your own website. Like literally, guys, I'm assuming everyone here works and everything. Listen. Hack right now. Even if you don't plan on using it, own your domain name. If you have a domain name you're gonna go by, own that. Like literally, the yearly fee that it costs to own. It's a yearly price you pay.
Yeah, it's like $15.
And invest in that. Owning that. I own AvidanSmith.com. I own that, so nobody could take that from me. Like I would say, every chance you get, own your domain name, so nobody could take that from you.
Funny story about that.
What's up?
Let me diverge into the NFL for like 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm
back. I think it was last year or the year before. There's a lot of talks. The imminent move for the Oakland Raiders out of California and into Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
One tiny detail they forgot was to buy the domain LasVegasRaiders.com, and a dude snatched it up, and I think they paid him like
handsomely.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yep.
So you want to keep, your identity. And for those of you who are in the chat, I see Studio Nintendo was going on, man. Great video yesterday, by the way. You want to keep your brand. Like, you want to own it. Just having a name and having a logo isn't enough. When you own a website, listen, take owning a website as the new age poor man's copyright. If you can at least own your domain name, that's a form of poor man's copyright right there. Until you can copyright your or trademark your name rather. Do what you got to do to have ownership of yourself, so people still use websites. Yes, they do. Born Distracted heavily.
Yeah.
Heavily. People still use websites heavily. Think of it this way: IGN, GameSpot, even Nintendo Enthusiasts, all these other websites. These websites, where they have ads on these websites, they get paid each month. Don't underestimate websites. Websites are not underrated. Just because a lot of people still use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram throughout their day, doesn't mean they don't use websites. And guess what? On Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, there are ads to redirect you to these other websites to make purchases. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and that's another thing. I'm taking a point for Roberto. As content creators, don't be afraid to sell products. If you have people that believe in you, don't be afraid to sell your products. Like, sell your merch, sell your t-shirts, sell things that are useful to your community. Like, understand the community that you're building up and say, you know what, this is going to be useful to you guys. I'm going to sell this to you guys. For instance, for me, I would create a new hoodie. Since it's cold outside, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and sell you guys a new hoodie. Sell your manhole. What in the world, dog? What is wrong with you, Andy? Andy did. Andy did. Andy, stop that. Pro Jaken does. Stop that. See, that's the problem when you read too fast. I would have normally stopped.
You're not getting sued by the FTC for this one.
Certainly not, apparently.
All I've got to say is there's a reason I'm rolling in the dough.
All right, no, stop it. You've been good on stream. Stop it.
Don't ruin it now, Jake.
Oh, dude, I sell manholes, dude.
Yeah, you know what, Jaken, you're about to get muted.
What?
I can mute you. I can kick you.
Don't do it. I'm not even going to do anything.
I can kick you, Jaken.
This is a conspiracy, a coup. I don't stand for it.
It's a coup.
Jaken, I have the powers are in my hand. Like, I'm right in the other screen. All I gotta do is hit remove from group and you're gone.
That's it, Avidan.
What?
You're gonna be a zigzag.
I'm sorry, Jaken. See, this is the fun. I had to add some fun towards the end just so you guys could. It's not such a sombering topic. It showed that I'm still being me and everything. But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Jaken is a character, but we all love him and everything. So, does anyone have anything else they want to add to that part of the topic?
No.
We're all good?
Matt is feel betrayed.
Jaken, you're okay, dude. You're okay. But that we're gonna go ahead and probably give you guys room for Q&A because we have a few minutes. We have a little bit of time. So
I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
Since Game Award nominees are revealed next week.
Ooh.
What are the nominees for Game of the Year?
Let's see.
Sekiro.
Keesley Stranding.
Yes, and Death Stranding.
Keezy, definitely Keezy Stranding. Let's see, Keezy Stranding. We have Sekiro. We can't say Resident Evil. Believe it or not,
Throw Gears 5 in there.
huh?
Throw Gears 5 in there.
No, I'm not gonna go Gears 5 in there. I'll give Borderlands 3 over Gears 5. I'll give it to Borderlands 3 over Gears 5. But you can say Gears 5. I'm gonna say Borderlands.
I think Fallen Order will get a nod.
Fallen Order might get it. Believe it or not, Fire Emblem may get nominated. I want to say Astral Chain, but if Devil May Cry 5 gets nominated, I don't see Astral Chain getting nominated.
Devil May Cry 5?
That's a highly rated game.
It's
a highly rated game.
I don't believe in like Metacritic so much this year, but if they're gonna go off highly reviewed games and stuff like that, if Devil May 5 Cry is nominated, I don't think Astral Chain is gonna make it to that nominee. They'll put Astral Chain for like best action game, but probably not for game of the year. Especially since Astral Chain didn't even hit a million sales yet, or barely hit 1 million. So, and that's me being objective. I like Astral Chain a lot, but
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a case because last year they had some games on there like Celeste and games that didn't sell a bunch.
Celeste was highly acclaimed though, highly acclaimed.
Right. But I mean, in that case, I played Astral Chain and Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry probably is the better game.
But you see for you who hit both, Devil May Cry 5 and Astral Chain has similar gameplay, right?
It does.
That's why if you notice, most game of the year, the gameplays aren't the same for all the nominees.
For sure.
So that's why I feel like Devil May Cry 5 is going to get it over Astral Chain. Just being objective with that. I like Astral Chain. I would like it for win game of the year, but I feel if they're going to have a Nintendo representation, it's going to be Fire Emblem. And
it should definitely be Fire Emblem.
It'll probably be Fire Emblem because of how much Fire Emblem did in terms of being just a great seller. And the other Nintendo representatives, I think that could hit it. Believe it or not, is Smash.
Luigi's Mansion.
Not Luigi's Mansion, Smash Brothers. Because Smash Brothers is eligible.
It came in the back end of the year afterwards.
It came out the day after, and it's eligible to be a nominee. And on top of that, it's the most sold fighting game of all time now.
Mm-hmm.
So, those accolades alone, I could see it being nominated for Game of the Year. Luigi's Mansion 3, there's people who told me they beat that game in 3 days.
I like it, but that's a bargain bin game.
Breath of the Wild one, and you can beat that game in 30 minutes.
You can. That's a pretty tall order.
But you have to be a different type of player to beat Breath of the Wild in 30 minutes. Like you have to be different. That's not something everyone can do.
Yeah,
you gotta be a beast.
Yeah.
So I would say looking at the nominees and looking at what could be the potential nominees, definitely we could all agree Sekiro is going to be there.
For sure.
We could definitely see Sekiro being there. Yeah. I could definitely see Fire Emblem being there. My
man said PUBG.
I read that. I read that. But in terms of a shooting game, if
Call
it's not
of Duty,
you know what? That may be it. It may be Call of Duty. You're right. It may be Call of Duty.
You know what? I saw it today on PC.
Well, Borderlands gonna be the shooting game, right?
You think? Okay, it's between Borderlands 3 and Call of Duty. I want to say Borderlands, but it may be Call of Duty. It may be Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare was really good to me.
Is that what for best shooter?
Yeah. Well, not best shooter, but Game of the Year nominee for a shooter.
Oh, I don't think. Okay, Borderlands. It's not the best Borderlands, and Borderlands 2 wasn't nominated for Game of the Year, was it?
It was. It wasn't, but this game has been pretty big for a lot of people.
It's not even close to as good as Borderlands 2.
Well then.
Borderlands is a really great game, Borderlands 3, but it's not Borderlands 2 because Borderlands 2 just seems a little bit more massive than it.
That's real talk.
Dorkman said, I am enjoying Star Wars. Do you think they will add microtransactions? No, but they may add cosmetics that you can purchase outside of that. Respawn has saved EA's life. I'm just going to put it out there.
Wow, they don't even have a menu for anything like that in the game right now, for like cosmetics.
Okay, cool. So you're talking so Josh and Sincere be the ones who could really answer that for you, because they're the ones who own the game. I haven't gotten the game yet. I do plan on getting it.
What was
But it's EA, so don't count it out.
No, but Respawn.
I mean, by the time they throw it in there, what majority of people done finished the game? Like the game's only 20 hours. Like how much cosmetics can you throw in a 20-hour game?
And most of Respawn's games have been great this year. Like Respawn has literally resurrected the dying brand of EA.
Respawn hasn't made a bad game, at least not in this gen.
They have
you talking about Titanfall 2,
Yeah.
Apex, and now this. Like this, and this right here is like end of the year, game of the year contender possibly, because from what I played, which was a small piece, so I can't say so just yet. But
what version you got?
It's I got it on PC.
You know that version that version is already rated very high.
You said it's rated very high?
Yeah. Last time I checked, it was like a 91.
I mean, it's top notch stuff. So you got a great gameplay
90 now.
Between traversal, combat. The story is good, especially if you like Star Wars. Looks phenomenal. That could possibly be a contender for game of the year.
A Star Wars game. Is it really that good? Because I may consider
for a Star Wars game, it could be like the best Star Wars game. It could be. I can't say that because I haven't finished it.
So for PCs, like for my settings and what I have, do you think it will run perfectly? Or
what kind of card you got?
I got one 1080 Ti.
You got a 1080 Ti?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. What are you talking about?
I don't like this is a newer game, so that's why because of the newer game.
Yeah. I mean, you're not playing it at 4K because nobody is. Even guys with 2080 Ti's is not.
Yeah, I'll be playing at 1080. I'll be 1080p.
If you playing at 1080p, man, you're playing it at. I'm playing at 1440p, and I got an RTX 2080, which is power equivalent to your 1080 Ti.
Okay, so I'm gonna play it at. So can I play it at 1080p 120?
You can play it at 1440p if you wanted to with high refresh rates. Yeah,
cool.
Sure.
I'm talking
about maxed out too.
Maxed out refresh rate, unlimited. Okay, cool. Because I may get this as my own Christmas gift to myself. Cause
it's fun. I mean,
fun.
Okay. You talking about combat, that block parry system that's in Sekiro and those kind of games.
Yeah.
That's in here, but you're doing it with lightsabers. Like I said before, it looks phenomenal. And you have like this charming story that's kind of dark, but it's an extension of, Star Wars. And I don't know if y'all familiar with the Order 66.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought that. They included that in the story?
I mean, this is technically right after what movie would this be right after?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is basically after Anakin went.
No, not Revenge of the Sith. The prequel.
Yeah, that's Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, you're right.
This is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. I'm pretty sure.
No, that's
Menace.
no.
Oh wait, no! I'm thinking of Mandalorian.
Oh,
Never mind.
Right. See, two Star Wars things came out.
Things this week.
Right,
Like,
yeah. Revenge.
Right. Revenge of the Sith. You're absolutely right.
Revenge of the Sith is when Anakin turned to Darth Vader.
Turned to Darth Vader.
So it's directly after that, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Got it. So
right after
he's a Jedi that's hiding, like trying to hide in plain sight and not reveal his powers. And then, of course, for you to play a game with a Jedi, he has to reveal his powers, and they get into that. And you're looking for other Jedi, so it's dope. Like it's a really good game.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Surprisingly, because I thought it was gonna be trash. Man, I ain't gonna lie.
Can we get 30 likes? Because we got 31 people watching. But by the way, first of all, I want to point something out. For the game of the year. I like how nobody really mentioned Death Stranding.
They should. I mean, it's going to be up there, but it shouldn't be, though.
Oh,
that's a coup.
That's the game.
Hey, don't use my word.
I know.
2 and
haven't
Vex.
played it.
Keesley-
Got those on trademark.
Keesley Stranding.
Yeah, that's
Kojima
a cool.
Time
Did you-
travel back from 2030 to bring us a gift in Death Stranding.
Josh,
So-
did you finish it?
No, I'm 60 hours in and I'm on chapter 5.
Wow,
Ooh.
60 hours.
I got
Yeah.
real sucked into building roads. Like it's
Wow.
it's probably my game of the year, and
I am
love it.
flabbergasted.
I'm nuts about it. Like it's real good. It's just a different kind of good because it encourages altruism, and I think that's really it's really nice.
Yeah, I don't have in real life. I have time for that. Not in a video game. I have zero time.
Yeah,
Like in a video game, I just don't have it.
and that's not common for like I can't tell you the last time a game drew me in that way. Like I can't think of any game where I would even put in 40 hours in like a single week and a half's worth of owning it, but I just love it.
Man, you said 60 hours in your chapter 5.
Yeah,
That's hard.
Chapter 6, I wanted to tap out,
Well, no. It's like I don't.
and I
want
fought
to-
through it.
Right. It's not like 60 hours where I'm just like struggling with the story and I'm just like, oh, I can't figure out what to do. It's like
No,
I
no,
just
you,
get so
there's a
sidetracked.
mechanic there where you can like build things for other people, and you got to find the
Right.
materials. Then you got
Like,
to.
I load up on materials and then I take intentionally bonkers routes to get to common places just so I can
Right.
leave helpful like ladders and ropes.
Right, see that to me that's cool for a minute, and at first like I've played the first. Well, I got to like chapter 2. I hated chapter 2. Chapter 2 sucked because you didn't.
Yeah,
have
no
that,
one should
right?
linger in 1 and 2. You should just beeline
Right,
for 3.
so you
That's what I
beeline
try
it, and
to
then you
do,
get to 3. The game, opens up, and I said, okay, I kind of dig this, right? I'm kind of into this a little bit, and I'm like you said, I'm building roads, I'm doing things for other people, I'm leaving ladders, and once I got to chapter 6, I didn't care for any of that anymore. I
See, I haven't gotten to 6 yet,
I
so
don't,
I don't know.
I'm
right on the cusp, I think.
and I don't think Kojima should write his own stories anymore.
Oh, I think yeah, it's the most expensive indie game of all time. That game is so shamelessly Hideo Kojima. and
Yeah, I think he should off put that to someone else that can, because right now, I mean, I've finished the story, or I haven't went to any side missions. I probably won't, but the characters don't have any life to them. I don't feel attached to anybody.
I can agree with that. Like for me, it's weird. Like the main story isn't nearly as interesting as the stories I'm creating to tell to friends about cool things that I've seen happen in the game or things that I've discovered in it. Like
Right.
for me, it's the joy of discovery not only of the world itself, which is big and beautiful, even if it's weirdly like Nordic look at America. Like I don't think that's America really looks like that, even in a post-apocalyptic state. But
Not at all.
yeah, but like that joy of mechanical discovery too, of figuring out how the different systems layer on top. Because there's about 130 different systems in this game that layer
There
on
is,
top of each
yeah.
other. That's fun. But like you're right, like the story and the characters aren't to me quite as interesting as me just enjoying the game for what it is and this kind of bizarre scenario it sets up for you. Like who was it again? Tim Rogers was like he kind of proves if you make a game that is literally 100% fetch quest, it can still be fascinating if you just go all in on that concept in a massive way. And that's what he did. And
It's
I'm sucked
100% fetch quest. Like, go here, pick this up, drop this
Yeah.
off here, and I can't, Josh. I do it in real life. like my mother is on my phone. Son,
Right.
can you go get something for me and drop it off here? My mom doesn't live here, but I had
Right.
to leave my house to get her something and drop it off.
Right.
I can't do
And
that.
you probably didn't even leave a helpful ladder behind for something.
No, I didn't even. No, I didn't build a road. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Just phoning it in.
she didn't pay me for what I picked up either. So
Yeah.
I didn't get anything out of it. So what I just felt like the tedium of doing that without any payoff. Sometimes you like even the NPCs when you
Right.
get a cutscene and okay, for instance, Red Dead Redemption, which is another game that had a ton of tedium in it. Even the side quest gave you like this little story where you are in the mix of this thing happening.
Right.
That doesn't happen in Death Stranding. Like you literally talk to a hologram and then the hologram might give you another package to go walk
Right.
somewhere else to. And I'm
Yeah,
like, man,
and like that's especially prevalent to me, having come just recently from Witcher 3. And
ooh, and that's full of that. That's
Witcher
full of that
3
kind of
side
stuff.
quests are like meaty and fully voice acted, and feel like they have like this just tangible impact on.
They're layered
on
missions
Geralt.
also.
Right. And with this, it's not quite as dense as what you get from a Witcher 3 side quest. But I think the other reason I'm unfairly biased towards Death Stranding is because I like the underdog story. I like the lone wolf, like man against the odds kind of tale, and that's exactly what I see in Sam. Because the dude, plus he's got aphosmophobia or whatever, can't really connect with anybody. He's
right, you don't want nobody, don't touch me.
My hand.
And I was into that. I was into that for like a few hours, and then it just got so. It feels like you ever. Okay, for instance, I played Control, right? And I don't think Control's story was like this rich story, but a lot of it was left to interpretation. You can read logs and stuff like that to fill you in on some things, but a lot of things was like, hey, you figure it out, or what do you think that is, right?
Right.
Kojima does none of that. He takes so long to explain everything to me. He is like, everything is detailed. It feels like I'm playing an instruction manual to the game. Like, he's telling me so much. Like,
he's verbose.
Sometimes it's like, just ease off of the exposition for me. Let me guess what happened back then, or it's like I need to exactly tell you what this is, and it goes on the entire game. And I was like, geez, man.
Right, and that's like he is incredibly like wordy, and he's always had like really overstuffed dialogue and everything. But somebody said the other day, I was watching a video, and they said it best. They were like, and to your point about the characters, is that his characters don't really behave like real life people, rather than
not at all.
They're mouthpieces for metaphors. And this game does have a lot of metaphors in it. One of my favorite ones, and this is a light spoiler for anybody who's thinking about Death Stranding, but in the game you wear these what look like handcuffs, and they are cheekily referred to as cufflinks, which there's a metaphor there, obviously. And I was looking at it, and I was like, well, yeah, I get it. Like, okay, in the modern age, we're sort of chained to data, right? I was like, nobody would physically cuff it to their arm. And then I was like, oh, wait, maybe they would actually cuff it to their arm. And that's
but it gets even crazier. And I'm not going to say anything, but please. Every character's name has this metaphor to it.
Oh, yeah. Like even Die Hardman.
Even worse than that. Like, so I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm like, man, like that. I'm like, wow. And it was points where I'm not gonna lie, I bust out laughing at some of it. I'm like, this is hilarious, and he's dead serious at this moment. Like, you can tell that he's being like this serious. I'm pretty sure when he wrote it, his eyes lowered, and he was like, I'm writing some deep ish right here, and I'm laughing at this because I'm like, it's not really that deep.
He's not great with names. He's just very literal.
Oh man, it's just mama. Okay, all right, man.
Right.
All right.
So, but like I said, I've talked about this game enough.
Yeah, I'll stop. Because I don't want Avidan to lapse into a coma.
Yeah, you guys were literally. I'm all
about it. I could talk for hours on Death Stranding.
I zoned out. I let you guys talk about Death Stranding. I was like, you know what, Josh? Here's my early Christmas gift to you. Go ahead and get it all out about how you feel about Death Stranding.
I'm done. I'll do it on my own channel.
Get it all. Like I said, get it all. Get it all.
When I get another 150 hours into that game.
I said, you know, we got time to kill. For people who are wondering about getting Death Stranding, let me not be mean. Let me not go ahead and talk about Death Stranding. Troll the troll. I know you're trolling. Just tread carefully. Anyway, Josh, I know how much you like, Death Stranding, so I want to give you.
It's okay.
Give you the mic a little bit, and then Sincere, he played it a little bit, so he had a little bit of an opposing view. It was cool. Chris was chilling, Chips was chilling, NX was chilling, Jaken was Jaken, and
I was doing something.
Jaken
I hate hearing about Death Stranding. It makes me want to jump out a window.
And then that's why I said, you know what? I'm going to chill out myself. It's a Chillcast. We talk about the topics. I can chill a little bit now. I don't have to.
I'll never say Death Stranding again on this channel.
To be honest, I was just watching NX's face. He's just
great. See,
he's just like
no, y'all people. Tony said, yo, hold up, watch this. You people, Tony said, great show overall. That means that Death Stranding portion.
He's like, it had its low points.
I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Great
But
show.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up because you guys. I was looking through the chat and I was just looking through other things to talk about because I was thinking about making a video about this whole Pokemon situation. Then I thought, you know what? All this time I'm making a video about Pokemon, I can actually have more fun playing the game. So I'm just gonna do that. Have more fun playing the game. That's my response to that. Yo, Troll the Troll, we've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I know you just got here. It's been almost 2 hours, man. So
Now we're just talking about Death Stranding.
yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here and do the outro. So starting with Chris Levi, man, where can they find you, bruh?
You can find me on YouTube, Mixer, anywhere around social media, simply as Chris Levi 13. I do a lot of live streams. I haven't done as many videos as I wanted to because I've had some issues with my internet, getting the Mixer and all that. And also, I work in retail, so it's been really hard with me at work, you know. But
Yikes.
I've been doing the live streams when I can, you know. Definitely digging Pokemon. There will be some more of that probably popping up this weekend if I can get a live stream out on tomorrow night or on Sunday. Really enjoying that game. Really enjoy being in podcasts like this. So if you think you would like to see me play some more of that game, or even whenever I bring Borderlands and the Outer Worlds back to the channel and all that, enjoy that kind of content, come give me a subscribe.
All right,
Check me out.
cool. So thank you, Chris, for coming out. That's his channel right there in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the description for those of you watching the replay. So thank you so much. Sincere man, what's going on?
Oh, brother, I appreciate it. I apologize for being late, but I had promised the good people that I would stream that
You had to handle
Jedi Fallen Order.
You had to handle your business, man.
And that's, I don't like saying that I'm gonna do it and then don't do it. So I said, let me stream this a little bit. I didn't know it was gonna go that long, but I got nowhere. That's the problem. I got nowhere in an hour. I'm like, I'm nowhere in this game. So, but I appreciate the calling to come and be on the podcast always with the good brothers. So, check me out on Twitter, sincere_GCG, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Gold Chain Gamers, and same old stuff, man. Come by, laugh, joke. We clown a lot. We have some fun. That's pretty much what we do, man. And talk about video games too. So,
man, and don't you have like also a podcast, dude?
Oh yeah, well, Sundays at 8:00. In fact, Avidan is supposed to be on this week, so if anybody wants to hear Avidan rock with the good brothers of the Gold Chain Gamers show, come on past Sunday 8:00.
Definitely will be there, man. All right, Josh.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter here. I'll go ahead and drop a link real quick. That's the best place to talk with me. Or you can come over to the channel. Generally, my content is split between video game discussion and then also predominantly towards content that encourages, inspires, or informs other people who run gaming channels themselves. Things like, how to improve like your lighting or editing or, concepts for like content strategy and stuff like that. So that's what my channel's all about. If you think that sounds interesting, come over, check it out. There's probably going to be some more Death Stranding content on there, would be my guess. And there's going to be a lot more Monster Energy drink too, would also be my guess because of Death Stranding. But yeah, that sounds fun. You consider coming over to the channel. If you want to chat, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. And always a pleasure, man. Appreciate you letting me be on here.
Man, you're a member. You're always welcome on here. And another member who came back, NX Revolution. What's going on, man? Where can they find you?
Same old. YouTube, Twitter, NX Revolution. Simple. That's it.
You know what? I'm just gonna do this because you guys aren't. He's being modest. Go ahead and follow NX Revolution. There he is right there. He kept it really short for you guys. Moving down to Chips and Sticks. Where can they find you, man?
You can find me at youtube.com/chipsandsticks. I'm gonna drop that in the chat.
I already got you.
Oh, good, because I'm slacking. So I actually am getting back to making content a little bit more regularly just because school's about to finish, and that's been like killing me these last couple months this semester. So to give you a quick update of what I have coming out, what I have planned coming out, sometime early next week, maybe like Monday or Tuesday, I'm dropping a video that's about the Nintendo New York Pokemon release. My man T Belly was with me. We did this video together basically for the most part. We did something in it that That was really dope. And I really appreciate, T Belly for, being able to do it. My man Eric, who shot the video and was with me doing the edits today. So we just wrapped up the video, and he's really good. I'm gonna put his information in there. So I have that coming out. I have an unboxing for the Steelbook edition of Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out really soon. I'm gonna work on that one probably tonight after this or over the weekend. I have a tip video, real quick tip video for Death Stranding coming out probably next week. There's a lot of things going on for next week because once December comes, man, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm ghosting until semester's over. It's finals. So I'm gonna pace it out so that way you guys get steady content while I'm not, like too active or whatever. And then after that, I'll be back to a regular schedule, and I might even start streaming again over the weekends. I do want to stream. Pokemon. I do want to stream Death Stranding. I'm gonna try to start doing some PC gaming, so I'm gonna try to stream something on there. Whatever I see that catches my eye. I'm actually looking at games right now. So yeah, those are the plans for the future. You can also catch me on Twitter. Social media, everything is always the same. Chips and sticks.
We gotta stream you getting worked in Uno or Apex, man. That's story for another day. Anyway, Jaken, what's going on, bruh?
Hello, I'm Jaken. I'm Chubby Aquaman at Bacon Jaken on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
He literally said, "Wow, okay."
Yeah. What his Twitter username is? What do you expect him to say?
I'm a friend of the 7 Seas. I don't know what his handle is. No one likes Aquaman, but I like Aquaman. So,
you look nervous.
I don't know I'm figuring out what I'm saying as I'm saying it. Here on YouTube, I haven't been streaming games lately because something happened with my equipment.
You know what? You will make this easy. Follow you on Twitter.
Well, no, dude, because I'm gonna start doing. I think tomorrow I'm gonna do just kind of like a chat and chill.
Oh, that's cool. Stream. Yeah, do that.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, do that.
We can there's some stuff I want to talk about and just kind of hang out with my subscribers and stuff like that. Because I haven't been real active the last month. So if you want to come hang out, feel free to sub. We have a good time. We might sing some songs. Whatever.
All right, cool.
I have a beautiful voice. So
Anyway, this is your boy Avidan. So we're here on Avidan Smith, and I know it says I'm gonna come back to you guys with created content, but I had to make a new business decision, and this channel is going to be my leisure channel. So me chilling with the Chillcast and me streaming games. That's what this channel is going to consist of, with a video every now and then that I'm just doing for fun. My main channel that I'm going to focus on, that's going to be my business channel, is going to be the music channel. I'm going to focus that on being a more business model, because what I created here was created out of fun, and I want to keep it that way. And even though business can be a lot of fun itself, I'm just going to have a more disciplined model on the second channel, which I'm still constructing from the ground up. I know I haven't posted in there in weeks, guys. Please bear with me. I don't want to just only do just video game remixes. I want to go back to doing the older videos that you guys remember from when I first started the series. I started doing the tutorials, and I had the breakdowns of how I made the beat and then the finished product at the end. I want to go back to doing that. And I also want to go ahead and do just other tutorials on how to use the program itself. So for those of you who actually do music, because I know about a few of you express you do use music and things you want to learn how to do, maybe that I could start teaching you guys on how to use the program more effectively, or you can use that technique and use that technique in your program if you know how to apply it to your own program. So that is the ultimate goal of Musically Avidan. And I also have a weekly podcast coming up on that one, which is going to be pre-recorded podcast. But instead of Friday nights, it's going to be Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is looking at December 6th. I was supposed to come out the first week of November 1st, but I'm actually working on more of the artwork and the design of it. So it actually looks really pleasing to look at. You know, I don't want right now the Chillcast. It's very bare bones on how it looks right here, like this outlook. I want it to be something that is more professional looking and something that, you know, isn't just you see from Discord. It's something that you guys could really enjoy seeing. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So we do this all the time, but before we do that, we have 24 people still watching. So who can we raid? That's the big question. Who can we raid? Let me see who's on my list. We don't have anyone on my list. I'm probably just gonna say we can get on out of here. Yeah, I don't have anyone on my list for that we can raid really, and I'm not gonna force it. For real. I saw Game Lose was streaming earlier. But
I've been streaming Pokemon a lot.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have mind, you know, sending, you know, traffic down his way. But, you know, he's probably just chilling for us tonight. You know, it's Friday night, people got other things to do. So it is what it is. So
well, Game Looters just started. They still got their starting soon screen up. I think they're going.
They just started?
Yeah. Wait, actually no. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. YouTube is messing with me.
Why you always lying, bro?
Why you always... No, I'm sorry. All right. So, yeah, since no one is streaming, we're just going to call it a night here. I was looking to see if Mikkel was streaming. I was trying to see, you know...
Oh, you know what we can do?
Ooh.
Hold on a second, because, where is he at? Studio Nintendo.
I was going to say his latest video.
Actually has his latest video.
I was just about to go through that too. Yo, we're on the same page. I was just going through his new video.
Because this man
sung.
Not only did he sing, but he put his kids on there.
The
video is actually dope. It's cute because the kids are singing. They sound like professionals. I know Nick is using auto-tune.
Like I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gonna put this out there about Nick, about that video that I like. When I first heard it, I didn't see the video. He sent me the pre-version of it. I was like, all right, it sounds good and everything, right? He said, what do you think about singing? I mean, wait, that was you? It sounded like a legit English dub to the main song. That's all I gotta say. So
yeah, so everybody
go check that video.
Now, all 21 people, go watch his video.
It's only 2 minutes.
Hit that subscribe because my man makes dope music.
It's only 2 minutes of your time. You guys got 2 minutes. We appreciate you guys. So thank you guys for watching. We're gonna close this out like we normally do. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most of all, you make sure. Yes, you make sure you share this with a friend. This is Avidan, Chris Levi, Gold Chain Gamers, Your Player 2, NX Revolution, Chips and Sticks, Jaken, and we are out.